Are you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
All right, let's do it. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins out. He's got that valve replacement surgery going on today.
Yes,
a little bit later.
Does.
So prayers up for Scott. Texted him a little while ago. And more on that a little bit later. Crazy that the shooter, Charlie Kirk, alleged, the motive remains elusive.
Yeah,
what?
I mean, this is just incredible to me. So instead of talking about possible motives, because I know it's like the police, they have an investigation to do, and, you know, they're going to take their time in coming up with sort of the rock solid, here's what, in the end, was the final straw for this guy to go out and do it. So I understand the police side of it. I do not understand the media side, other than that this is like top-tier level cope that's going on. So John Dickerson is looking for any other way on CBS News to explain why a radical leftist who was living with his transitioning boyfriend would kill Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
5 days after Charlie Kirk's murder, the shooter's motive remains elusive. No writings left behind, vague secondhand testimony. That uncertainty and the
Hold on a second. I have to... Seriously, I have to hear that again for myself.
means elusive. No writings left behind, vague secondhand
No
testimony.
writings left behind.
Yeah, they were on the bullets.
I'm asking, really, for this news guy. Can he read?
That's a good question. Can you read the news?
Yes, from multiple sources. That's incredible.
That uncertainty and the risk of drawing sweeping conclusions suggests the murder may share similarities with recent violence not driven by an obvious political ideology. The FBI recently recognized a new category, nihilistic violent extremism. For tonight's interview, we are joined by Matthew Kreiner, the executive director of the Institute for Countering Digital Extremism.
Okay, nihilism is what we're saying. Man, they're
Yes.
not going to bring up the trans issue at all.
No, they're not. And I agree that nihilism is a part of
Yes.
the radical trans ideology. Not talking about somebody who's just confused about their gender, somebody who has a mental illness. It's the radical activist class that I'm talking about. And yes, they are nihilistic, because there's nothing more nihilistic than saying basic biology doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. All right, the report goes on. Here we go.
Matthew, thank you so much for joining us. So, leaving aside this incident, what is nihilistic or nihilistic violent extremism?
So nihilistic violent extremism is extremism that is driven by a lack of singular ideological framework. It's individuals who are fed up with the world, believe there's no political solution to what they hope to see accomplished in their own goals and their actions. And as the Department of Justice has said, it's conduct and activities that they hope will further societal collapse, generally aligning with what we've called neo-fascist accelerationism, the hastening of societal collapse through violence, and specifically terrorism.
There you go. You throw in the fascist thing, right? Because then, you know, everybody in that audience knows that fascist is coded right wing.
Yes.
And so, yes, it's a neo-fascist violence, whatever, throws that in there just for good measure to leave people completely confused and in the dark about what actually occurred last week.
We've talked about it before with the left. It has to be deception all the time.
Yes.
And for CBS News, they're counting on, okay, if we have any sane people left that watch this network, we basically have to deceive them, because if we tell them the truth of what's going on, they may leave the network and realize we've been lying to them for years.
Yeah. And I think that's why you're seeing such floundering, and there are still even people of prominence trying to suggest that this guy was right-wing, was this hardcore right-winger who didn't think that Charlie Kirk was conservative enough. They're still trying to float that out there. Well, we just don't know. And part of it, I believe, is because there is no counter-argument to what occurred last week. There is no, they don't even have the gun angle right now, because the gun that was used to murder Charlie Kirk was the same type of gun that almost every Democrat has said for years would not be banned. It wasn't an AR.
No.
There is no high-capacity magazine involved.
Nope.
None of that. They can't go weapon of war. And so even that, their go-to argument to suggest that conservatives have it coming isn't on the table anymore. And that's why they're floundering. This is pretty obvious what happened.
Of course. And ABC, they won't tell their audience either. And this morning, it was the fourth story.
Wow.
It was after weather, Israel, Trump bombing another drug boat.
Yeah.
There's the claims experts are saying bring up legal issues.
Oh, please.
I'm going through that again. And then fourth was the Charlie Kirk story and nothing about any of the trans angle, any of the left angle. They won't do it.
Wow.
This was interesting because you're hearing a lot of different reports. How many people knew about this? Mm-hmm. And then what organizations are actually funded by the government that are furthering violence? And this seems like a web. Chris Rufo from the Manhattan Institute was on Fox last night talking about this to a degree.
Important for people to understand that the left-wing militant networks have really transformed in the last 5 years from BLM and Antifa, which came to prominence in 2020. Those groups have more or less dissolved and now transformed into a transgender activist and militant group that is not operating in these big public marches, but is organizing online platforms like Discord, Reddit, other encrypted communications. And it's really up to federal law enforcement to figure out where these networks are built, how they're communicating, how they're transferring money, where their sponsors and supporters are, because these aren't simply people engaged in free speech. They are organizing illegal activities. They are organizing violence and terror. You're not allowed to do that in the United States. And so this Charlie Kirk tragedy is a wake-up call for everyone. It's time for law enforcement to get serious about this threat. Transgender militant ideology is the most dangerous ideology in the United States at this moment. It's something that we need to take very seriously.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, as we've talked about this, I mean, imagine if you had, you had the school shooting in Nashville, the one in Minneapolis, now the death of Charlie Kirk and a few others thrown in
Colorado.
The one in Colorado, where there was a similar thread in ideological terms that was there.
Yes.
If these were all MAGA guys, one, I'm confident we would be in a mode of self-reflection.
Yeah, like what are we doing? What are we saying?
Yeah. And
that could be somehow, unwittingly participating in something or egging people on. You wouldn't want to do it.
No. Well, and I think you said you'd rather go sell shoes than be a part of that, and I'm with you there.
Absolutely.
I'll be lacing them up with you.
Yeah.
But you also know that federal law enforcement would be tearing down that world. And
media would be reporting on it.
Yes.
I mean, think of all these things that these trans shooters have had in common, right? Mm-hmm. Say it's the 80s and they all listen to heavy metal music. That would be the number one story.
Oh, sure.
Like, oh my gosh. And of course, people would say, not everyone that listens to heavy metal music is out there killing people.
Yes.
Just like not every trans person is out there killing people. But there's a thread here, and it needs to be taken serious, but they won't even bring it up because they don't want their audience to know. It's wild, man. And more on that a little bit later. Another controversy as far as media is the Guard going into Memphis.
Yeah, President Trump signed an order to send the National Guard into Memphis, Tennessee, along with a task force of federal law enforcement agencies to give the cops help in cracking down on crime, which has been running rampant in Memphis for far too long.
Oh, yeah.
It's very sad to see what's happening there. He made the announcement from the Oval Office yesterday.
Okay.
In 2024, Memphis had the highest violent crime rate, the highest property crime rate, and the third highest murder rate of any city in the nation. Other than that, they're doing quite well, thank you. A person is 4 times more likely to be murdered in Memphis, Tennessee today than in Mexico City.
Whoa.
And Mexico City is not a cakewalk.
Yeah. Well, and the governor of Tennessee is obviously welcoming. The mayor, Tennessee, not thrilled about the Guard coming there. Mm-hmm. Paul Young is the mayor's name. He doesn't want the Guard
I'm
there.
certainly not happy about the National Guard. I am looking forward to trying to find ways to invest in the things that we're already doing.
Oh my God!
Oh, see, I knew you hadn't heard this, and I knew you've had it, haven't you?
You already rolling your eyes. I am so freaking tired of we need to invest in communities. Democrats have been making historic investments in communities my entire life.
Decades.
That's what they claim. And
Yes.
things don't seem to get better.
Nope.
Until you let the cops do their jobs. That's the only time crime actually goes down. You want after-school programs? Great. I think that's
Yes.
a great idea. You want to get men from the community in to mentor young men and women who may not have a strong father figure in the home, regardless of their race? Great. I think that's
We've given money to it personally for years.
That is a phenomenal thing to do. But until you're letting cops be cops and get the bad guys off the streets, and more importantly, having judges that don't just make it a revolving door, you're not going to solve the problem.
Man, Robbins
Stick
isn't
those
here,
investments up your.
The spirit of Robbins is here.
I'm so.
And I'm 1/3 through this clip. Get ready, because it's crime prevention before it happens. You know,
in our city, we've seen significant reductions over the past 2 years since we've been in office, and we want to continue that work. We want more investment in the violence interrupters and the individuals that are out working to intervene and prevent crime before it takes place. We want
crime's down. Yeah, still. Still, Mexico City's laughing at you. Anyway.
More support for law enforcement in terms of investigations. So those are the things that we do want. With regards to the National Guard, it is something that we don't have a choice in, and we're going to do all that we can to make sure that it has limited impact on our community.
Limited impact?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Part of me takes it to mean we want to keep our murder numbers high. Yeah. We don't want them to do too good. What do you mean, their impact? What?
Well, dude, there's a few local news reports I saw where there are restaurant owners who are getting ready to hand out free lunches to anybody in uniform because they want them there. Because it's like one of the guys runs a smoke shack. It's a small operation, and they're out of their own pocket. They've had to pay security to be there from open to close.
Yeah. Well, people went and talked to the residents. Yeah, they're all for it.
We're grateful for the National Guard coming.
It's just so dangerous that you can't get out of your car. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to the market or the service station. So, yeah, I want to see the crime stop. And if the National Guard is going to stop the crime, bring them out.
There's a need for more boots on the ground, and evidently this is the way that they plan on getting them.
Yeah. Got to do something about the crime. No, it has been remarkable to see all the vigils and the outpouring for Charlie Kirk, his family, really the whole movement. And it's not just the United States. Saw images in the UK over the weekend. I didn't know South Korea.
Wow.
They were chanting. I mean, it was moving to watch it, man. Something's going on, man.
Yeah.
That's something that is like a good thing.
Well, yeah. It's also helpful when the side of good isn't also the side that's burning things down. Notice the rioting has been missing.
Exactly. Yeah, weird. Absolutely. Yeah, a couple of news updates we got to get to. And the 5 stories we're watching today, straight ahead. Summer's over, but those lingering effects of backyard barbecues may have your liver continuing to work overtime. And the holidays are right around the corner. That means turkey dinners, pies, and all sorts of other stuff that's taxing on the body. That's why now is the perfect time to develop a healthy new habit that will get your liver back in tip-top shape.
So in addition to moderation, let me tell you about something I've started taking to help me feel my best. It provides an easy and delicious daily detox using proven all-natural ingredients like turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract to give my liver the support it deserves. Your liver is one big filter, and Active Liver from New Nordic helps keep it from getting clogged up so you can feel your best Get started now so you can enjoy the benefits later.
Your liver works overtime to filter toxins out of your system, so the least you can do is to show it some love by taking Active Liver. Available in both easy-to-take tablets or delicious gummies. You can find Active Liver online at Amazon or pick some up today at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite.
Summer is over, and we're going back to the daily grind. So what are you going to do with all those photos on your phone? Well, Aura frames are the perfect way to show off all the family fun. They were named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter because there's unlimited storage for your pictures and videos, and it's easy to set up. It only takes about 2 minutes with the Aura app.
I love this thing, especially because I've got 2 little kids and family all over the place. You can invite as many people as you want to add pictures. So if you've got family on the other side of the country, they can share photos or short videos instantly, no memory card required.
You have complete control over who has access to your frame, and the Aura app lets you share photos more securely than with email. And the display screen is so good, it looks like real print. Start reliving your favorite memories by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $35 off on the best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code MVCR. Support the station by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, then. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins out. Be giving updates as we get them on him. Now time for the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2, all right, number 5, President Trump signed an executive order to send the National Guard into Memphis, Tennessee to give the cops help in cracking down on crime. Some local restaurants are grateful and are planning to give free meals to the Guard whenever they show up. Like, thanks, because we're tired of this.
Yeah. Mayor's not all that thrilled about it.
Well, he can go pound sand.
Yeah.
Number 4, congressional Republicans are gearing up to finally look into left-wing billionaires and whether or not they're funding radical terrorist organizations. So that's a positive movement. I think it's long overdue. But
100%.
Yeah, we'll see. Number 3, the U.S. took out another drug boat in international waters. The left has more sympathy for the drug runners than they do for Charlie Kirk, evidently. Number 2, the older man who was the first one taken into custody after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Remember that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he's been arrested for obstruction because apparently he did tell the cops, I'm the shooter, and he wanted to basically get their attention away from the actual killer to give the guy time to escape.
Okay. So he just happened to be there and happened to be thinking on his feet. What did he know where the shot came from?
I don't know.
But he just knew the shooter was somewhere, so if I distract...
Yeah.
Okay. Something's fishy there, man.
It seems like it. That being said, I just want to point out this guy is known to local police.
Okay.
Because, like in 2013, after the Boston Marathon bombing, he contacted the Salt Lake City Marathon asking if they needed explosives for the finish line. And so he got arrested for that too. He's a menace.
Wow.
So, yeah, we'll see if there's any connection. I know the cops really want to know if he knew what was going down or if this is just another one of his antics. So
yeah, man, there's going to be a lot of people questioned.
Oh yeah, and on that note, number 1, FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed this morning that more than 20 people on that group chat on Discord with the killer are being investigated to see if they had any foreknowledge of the assassination.
Yeah, and that's just being glanced over.
Yeah.
By the legacy synchronized media.
Oh, sure it is.
Because if you started talking about these people, you would have to bring up what is it they have in common.
Yeah.
And it's this whole furry culture, and a lot of people are like, what in the heck are you even talking about?
Yeah.
With something like that. And you've tried to explain it.
Yeah. Well, coming up in actually about 15 minutes, Greg Gutfeld on Fox News. I think he hit the nail on the head when it came to explaining why a lot of Democrats are sort of trying to skirt this whole issue. And it has to do with, because they don't want people to know that their ideas are actually in the same stream as these leftists.
I think there's something to that. I haven't heard this take. I wanted to wait and just hear it,
I think I got
and then
all
react to it.
Profanity bleeped.
Well, I know you got to risk it for the business. We're playing it. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show. Of course, if Robbins was here, he'd be like, hand on the button.
Well, maybe he'll, after he gets that heart valve replaced, maybe he'll calm down a little bit. Maybe he'll be more chill.
It could be. That's what we're all hoping.
Gosh, dang it.
Oh, yeah. The Robbins soundboard is still here.
Hey, knock it off.
Well, it's going to be hard for me to do that,
Shut up, man.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people are saying, I love Scott, his reaction to things. And at the same time, man, don't let him get too wound up.
Yeah.
Just depending. Something else that we'll get to. Stephen Miller talking about, when you have blind rage, it's not good, but righteous anger is different. It's pretty good. We'll get to that as well. Coming up in just a few right here. All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, the Millennial, the Sexy Boomer. Scott Robbins having his surgery today, which is, an hour or so away?
Something like that, yeah.
As soon as we know anything. We're expecting everything to go good. We'll let you know. In the meantime, J.D. Vance was hosting the Charlie Kirk podcast yesterday. Which, by the way, that podcast, as you would imagine, rose in the ranks all the way to the top.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And who's going to be the permanent host?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I saw today Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro, and Matt Walsh are guest hosting.
Oh, all from the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
That'll be good. J.D. Vance was talking about Americans coming together. And I don't know if you heard this part of the podcast or not, but I thought it was worthy bringing up.
I do believe that we can come together in this country. I believe we must. But unity, real unity, can be found only after climbing the mountain of truth. And there are difficult truths we must confront in our country. One truth is that 24% of self-described, quote, very liberals believe it is acceptable to be happy about the death of a political opponent, while only 3% of self-described very conservatives agree. The data is clear. People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. And while our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
I think that's well said.
I think, I didn't see the entire speech, but what I have noticed, and I think it's important to do this, is to say we're talking about the far left right now. Unlike, Joe Biden, MAGA Republicans. They're all bad. They're all these, they threaten the foundation of America. And because I think that's important because it gives a lot of Democrats sort of an off-ramp right now to say, look, we're never going to agree on some social issues, right? We're never going to agree on abortion. We're never going to agree on I think we will someday agree on the transing of kids and how bad that is.
Oh, yeah. I think we'll get there.
There's a lot of things we will never agree on tax policy, on the role of the federal government, right? And I think that's okay. Not everybody has to agree. But you got to say, dude, if you had a poll out that says that, 25% or more of MAGA Republicans are like, yeah, kill our political opponents, we would be having a national conversation. And again, I think us on this show would be very much reflecting on that.
Number. Yeah. My goodness.
I think that's, everybody I know who is a Trump supporter would be going, okay, what is going on here? And like the vice president said, yes, every political movement has its crazies because there are just crazy people out there. But right now there is this, on the far left, this death cult kind of mentality that, well, we're killing the planet and therefore we should not reproduce. We're killing the planet and we should destroy material things. It's a very, very dark and nihilistic movement. And the Democrats can recognize that and say, all right, we want to be a big tent party, but y'all aren't welcome.
I think that's what we would say. And, I mean, there have been plenty of times, throughout doing the show that you're giving your real opinion on whatever issue, and you'll get, whether it's messages, emails, whatever, you're way off. I can't believe you. I thought you were conservative. All those sorts of things. It happens all the time. I mean, for a long time, it felt like you would get the same messages every day saying, you're a Trump stooge.
Yeah.
You're anti-Trump. It's like, what?
Yeah, from the same segment.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, there's disagreement on things all the time. I think one of the things that's happened since Charlie Kirk was assassinated was the amount of doctors, nurses, school administrators, teachers celebrating it. That has shaken people.
Absolutely.
Because in that part, it's not just the far left. Mm-hmm. In some ways, that's the mainstream left.
Yeah. Like,
holy smokes, what are we really dealing with here? That's where I think a lot of people have pause right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Stephen Miller yesterday was talking on that podcast about the last message that he got from Charlie Kirk. I want you to check it out.
The last message that Charlie sent me was, I think it was just the day before we lost him, which is that we need to have an organized strategy to go after the left-wing organizations that are promoting violence in this country. There's incredible sadness, but there's incredible anger. And the thing about anger is that unfocused anger or blind rage is not a productive emotion. But focused anger, righteous anger, directed for a just cause is one of the most important agents of change in human history. Yeah. And we are going to channel all of the anger that we have over the organized campaign that led to this assassination to uproot and dismantle these terrorist networks. So the organized doxing campaigns, the organized riots, the organized street violence, the organized campaigns of dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses, combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger and incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence. With God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks and make America safe again for the American people.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to take.
Well, again, it's the hypothetical game that we all love to play. Let's say, remember the great Koch brothers panic?
Oh, yeah.
And like during the Bush administration and then into the Obama administration. Koch brothers! Koch brothers! Okay, if there were a bunch of Bush supporters or McCain voters at the time getting together and burning down city blocks and taking over city blocks, Seattle, or doing that, dude, the Obama administration, with good cause, would have given the Koch brothers organization a colonoscopy. They would have absolutely looked in every single crevice to tear down that organization, even if there was a hint that they were funding groups linked to rioting, violence, and death.
Yes. But you bring up George Soros, anti-Semitic.
Yeah. The same people are like from the river to the sea. It's crazy.
Yes, it is absolutely bananas. All right. It's that time of the show where we go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, I think I know your story.
Yeah, I mentioned this a few minutes ago. Greg Gutfeld, not Grug, Greg Gutfeld on Fox News. I think he's had it. He completely lost it when on the show The Five, they have the token liberal, Jessica Tarlov on.
Yeah.
And she was trying to say that political violence is equal on both sides. Now, this is a longer clip. I have pared it down from the 4.5 minute long rant that it was.
Okay.
But I think he really spoke to what a whole lot of people are thinking right now.
I am very much looking forward to this. Roll it.
What about Melissa Hortman that we just talked about?
You want to talk about Melissa Hortman? Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did. None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no demonization, amplification about that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her by somebody who knew her. The same. Now you can bring up.
Time out a second. Just to ask for programming purposes.
Yeah.
When he's saying that on live TV, does the bull bleep go out over?
Oh yeah, it does.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't get in trouble for that.
No, I think they love it because it gets more eyeballs on the TV, honestly. As long as you don't use it egregiously, you know. It is cable.
Yeah. Any chance our bosses could talk with the Fox bosses? Anyway, I don't want to go back to it, Greg. Go.
You could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person. So don't use your, what about this? The fact of the matter is the both sides argument not only doesn't fly, we don't care. We don't care about your both sides argument. That is dead. I understand why people are saying, what about this and what about this? Because if you have to face the underlying fact to this, your life is going to fall apart because you're going to realize you're not the good guys. That is a hell of a realization to deal with. So therefore, you have to grasp at rationalizations. That guy was a patsy. He was under the hypnotic spell of a direct-to-consumer nihilism, the trans cult, and you know that. If you can decide that biology is false, you can agree that murder is okay and that humanity is expendable. How you cannot see that alone and see that for what the evil it is without having to attach all of these other things is beyond me. We don't care what the whataboutism is anymore. That's dead. Sorry. For the swearing as well. I apologize to the American public. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the show.
Boy, that part he touched on, realizing you're not the good guy.
Yeah.
And you wonder if people will ever do that. Which brings me to my story. My story is also a clip that comes from Fox. This was Kid Rock on with Jesse Waters last night. And, you know, he was singing my song, and I'm not talking about Ba with the Ba. I'm talking about me saying one of our biggest issues is legacy media lying to people. Because I think there are enough good people in the country that if they really knew what was going on would not go along with it. But they've been deceived for so long, and you're seeing it right now on the very issue of the trans issue not even being brought up, and that it was obviously left-wing. They won't do it. And so, as, you know, Waters is asking Kid Rock, you know, where do we go from here? This is how he answered.
And then just recently, took Bill Maher to the White House for dinner, one of Trump's biggest adversaries. And if it wasn't for Fox News and some social media, nobody would hear about it. Trying to do something positive to bring this country together. And I've said it and I'll say it again because I think it needs to be echoed until they get it through their fat skulls. The mainstream media is frickin' public enemy #1 right now. Just the clips you just ran of these people from the New York Times and these other nut houses they call media establishments. It's absolutely frickin' ridiculous. I mean, and then they say that, Charlie Kirk, God bless him, by the way, his wife, kids, that, he's inciting this, he's inciting that. I'm someone who understands better than anyone as being a very vocal Trump supporter from day one. They've called me a racist Nazi for years now. I mean, go look up a few facts about my life, my children, where everything. But other people start to echo this. Just people who write dumb articles who think, I'm trash and I hate my music, and they say he's just a racist Nazi. And, this starts to build and build and build. So you get these nut house kids who are doing nothing but playing video games, watching these occult movies that are all over our streaming services that won't go outside to play any sports or anything. And
by the way, which at that point, I'm like, and Kid Rock's younger than me, but not that much younger. And I'm like, yeah. Here we are now on the porch going, and the kids today, the video games, they not playing the sports. But there is something to that. But anyway, go ahead, kid.
And, then they think they're going to do something good. I'm going to go kill a Nazi. I'm going to go kill a racist. And they're literally mentally deranged. We need to bring the frickin' nut houses back.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that is lacking. Where do these people go? They get let out. Man, oh, man. There's a lot going on today. Got some updates to get to. A Memphis resident talking about the National Guard coming in, and Nimrods in the news, all coming up.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-859-3220. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-859-3220 or biglou.com.
He's coming. Here he comes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for anyone out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is out, probably for the next week or so. But he's still here in voice.
Football season is back on Prize Picks. Every day we make choices, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So kick off the season right by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Just use the code MBCR on the Prize Picks app. With millions of users and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks is the best place to put your takes to the test. Plus, the app is really simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could win big. With simple stats and user-friendly policies, Prize Picks is the most fan-friendly app to make your picks. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code MBCR, $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's code MBCR on Prize Picks, $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Okay, in Memphis, National Guard's going in.
Yep.
The mayor, not all that happy about it. He's going to try to minimize their impact.
Yes, we want to continue to make investments in our community and community investments. And heard that one before.
Yeah, fresh.
Yeah. So President Trump signed an order to send the National Guard into Memphis, Tennessee, along with a task force of other federal agencies to give cops help in cracking down on crime. Channel 3 in Memphis, they were out talking to people about it, and a lot of them seemed okay with it. Here's a woman named Olympia Pritchard.
Okay.
And, you know, it's just so dangerous that you can't get out of your car, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to the market or the service station. So, yeah, I want to see the crime stop. And if the National Guard is going to stop the crime, bring them out.
Yeah, but that's a tool of white supremacy.
Right, exactly. She's the black face of white supremacy, right?
Yeah, that state rep there, that's what he said.
Gosh.
You know who I'm talking about?
Justin Pearson, idiot, one of the Tennessee 3.
Yes.
People who led a bunch of left-wing protesters into the Capitol building. Little insurrection-y.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, we'll have to get to that clip later because we got Nimrods now. This is a fun one.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Dean.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrods the news. We go to Florida. Dude is waiting in the drive-thru at Popeyes. This drunk woman walked up to the window, stepped between his car and the window. She apparently arrived in an Uber, but the driver wouldn't wait in line. She was hammered and demanding a Baconator, which is a Wendy's sandwich, not something at Popeyes. So then the dude starts, filming it. Like, what is going on with this person? It's kind of crazy.
I just want the order that I came here with a whole mess of bacon and...
Who you came? How you got here? You walked from where?
I walked here. You want to give me a fist bump for waiting 15 minutes?
Where you from? You not from around here.
I'm from California.
They better give you food.
Amen!
Yeah, that's right. They got to give you food.
I just want my Baconator meal. That's all I care about.
What are you doing?
Baconator meal.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, finally, cops show up because she's causing a scene and had to take her away and arrest it. It was a Baconator desert. And that's Nimrods in the news.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is out for about a week or so. Be giving updates on him as we get them. David, you have a news update.
Yeah, so remember Luigi Mangione, the guy who murdered the United Healthcare CEO?
Yeah, total nut.
Yeah, total nut. And he was charged with first-degree murder, which in New York, first-degree murder basically is you kill a cop, you kill a witness to prevent them to testifying, or you're committing an act of terrorism. That's where first-degree murder comes into play. That's where it's in play.
Okay.
A judge overseeing the case has tossed the first-degree murder charge, saying
Why?
it wasn't terrorism, saying that that Alvin Bragg overcharged in this case, and this is what the judge wrote. Quote, "The defendant's apparent objective, as stated in his writings, was not to threaten, intimidate, or coerce, but rather to draw attention to what he perceived as the greed of the insurance industry." But
that's what that is.
That's what he did. That's what terrorism is. Terrorism isn't just because. Terrorism always has a goal. It is to raise awareness about something in the most obscene way possible.
Okay. You've been following news for a long time. Before the show, you were a news guy. Did you have any idea we had this many radical judges out there?
No. No, I didn't. This is insane.
It makes no sense.
No. He wasn't intimidating anybody. He just murdered somebody for the purpose of raising awareness of an issue.
Okay. Wow. And is that something that is going to be seen by another judge, or that's just the way it is?
That's just the way it is right now. So
Wow.
second-degree murder, still a very, very serious charge. I think there are some people asking, like, why not first-degree murder still? New York, again, has very specific offenses that fall under first degree. Second degree is still a very serious charge. It's not like it's been bumped totally down. But, yeah, the idea that somehow he wasn't acting as with terroristic intent is beyond me. And then
okay, there's a reason I'm asking this question, because I don't know the judge. Judge, male or female?
Let's see, Judge Caro, New York. New York.
The reason I ask is because some of those crazy women on the left are like, oh, if he just had a female. I mean, he seems like a really good guy. They're like swooning over this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was disturbing.
So he's a man. Judge Gregory Caro is his name.
Not that then.
But there were people. Remember how over the last several days we've been told time and time again the left does not celebrate violence. Quit pointing out when we celebrate violence.
Right.
Left-wing protesters outside of the courtroom today, when they heard the news that he was dropping the first-degree murder charge, they were celebrating. They're dressed up like Luigi from Mario Brothers.
Oh, my gosh. Do you suppose these are real people, or are they paid actors?
I think there's always a combination of both, like a handful of actual paid organizers, and then they get basically people who've been radicalized online to come in and support them for free.
How much of a loser do you have to be to say this is something I'm protesting today? He's being wrongfully charged.
Yeah.
For something we all saw.
Yeah.
It's insane. By the way, as far as the both sides argument from legacy media, I think you'll hear that here. Part of ABC's reporting this morning, as they turned to Pierre Thomas, he had a little interview with Pam Bondi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're afraid that the Trump administration is only going to be going after the left here. That's sort of the fear after the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Matt Gutman, thanks. In the wake of Charlie Kirk's killing, President Trump has railed against political violence from the left, excused it from the right, as his administration threatens a crackdown on left-wing groups. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas spoke with the Attorney General. Good morning, Pierre.
Excused it from the right? I don't know what he means by that.
That probably goes back to the January 6 pardons. I'm guessing here.
Okay. That's laughable.
Good morning. You have President Trump and others in the administration furious at the assassination of their friend Charlie Kirk. And they're pushing the notion of a left-wing conspiracy, vowing to take it down. So we asked Attorney General Bondi, the person who has to make decisions about who to prosecute, how she's responding to those demands.
Vice President Vance and Stephen Miller were saying that the full weight of the federal government should be used to target and investigate left-wing radical groups. Do you share that position?
Absolutely. We saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. He was assassinated speaking to college students peacefully, and he was assassinated. Anyone who commits such violence will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
I'm going to give Pam Bondi props here because I think she mentioned something, and I think it was smart of her to do it. Go.
Look what almost happened to Governor Shapiro in the governor's mansion. His wife, his family, they were asleep upstairs, and someone tried to light his house on fire. You know, there are so many crimes of violence throughout this country. Doesn't matter who it is. We're going to come after you if you commit a violent crime.
Because the big criticism we heard is, well, they didn't even bring up Shapiro.
Yeah.
Who was a nuts Hamas supporter.
Yeah. And
not somebody from the right.
Yeah, a guy who was bipolar and had been off his meds. He just a pretty long criminal history. But because there was a report that at one point he told his family to vote for Trump. Well, see, that's right-wing violence. Please.
Oh, my gosh. Give me a break. Okay.
I pressed the AG on whether radicals of all persuasions would face justice and not just the left. I also asked her if the American people can be confident that she will act based on the facts and the law and not politics. She was adamant that she would. But, George, this is a really intense moment for the administration and the country.
No question. And we've seen violence on both sides. And one of the follow-ups today, there's going to be a special election in Minnesota for the victims, replace the victims of that shooting in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's right, George. And if the Democrats hold on to that seat, it will restore a 67-67 tie in the State House of Minnesota, which says so much about this country, evenly split.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man. I do have to appreciate how they handled that a little bit. I think it's bad, but I mean, I think they did it very well to just sort of slide in there, and then the balance of power would be more even, which sort of suggests, again, right after you're saying both sides commit violence, that this person did it, out of loyalty to Donald Trump. No, it was a tragedy what happened, but this guy was delusional and thought that Tim Walz was telling him to execute lawmakers.
I don't know that they ever told their audience that. Not that I remember.
Yeah.
I won't go on record, but not that I remember. So there was that angle. Trump was talking about this yesterday.
Yeah. Well, there was a reporter in the Oval Office trying to get Trump to walk back his statement that the radical left is responsible for most political violence.
They are.
The killing of Melissa Hortman, the attack on Paul Pelosi, the attack on Gabby Giffords, the attack on the Pennsylvania governor's mansion. Why make the case that violence is only on one side? It seems to be taking...
I didn't say it's on one side, but I say the radical left causes tremendous violence, and they seem to do it in a bigger way. But the radical left really is caused a lot of problems for this country. I really think they hate our country. Okay, yeah, please.
Yeah.
And they do.
Well, they do. They say it.
Yes.
I mean, dude, when during the Summer of Love in Portland, there was some they-them activist who was out there saying, yes, our goal is the complete destruction of the United States as we know it. They hate this country. They'll tell you that they hate this country.
That's what they mean when they say reimagine it.
Yeah, they don't hide from that. And, Democrats have spent so long coddling these people that they can't find the off-ramp right now. I think there are many people who vote Democrat most of the time who, if they've actually gotten news from other sources, see what's going on and don't like it. But they can't admit it right now. Wow. Because they've spent too long coddling that side and leveraging that side to be their foot soldiers in the streets.
All right, moving on to Memphis. Trump talked Memphis.
The effort will include the National Guard as well as the FBI, ATF, DEA, ICE, Homeland Security investigations, and the U.S. Marshals, and more along the prosecutors. Pam Bondi's here. She's heading it up. This team will deploy the full powers of federal law enforcement agencies and enforcement generally to restore public safety and get dangerous career criminals off of our streets.
And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know what it's, as far as crime, number 1, murders number 4.
Yeah.
Per capita, I think, number 1. Different people on the left said, why doesn't he go to a red state? Well, that's a red state.
Yes.
So he's going there, and that's high crime.
Yes, deep blue city, but red state, sure.
Yes. But the Tennessee state rep, Justin Pearson, he says it's racist.
Of course he does.
Well, listen.
The white supremacist, authoritarian dictator wannabe of Donald Trump.
So they're toning down the rhetoric, I hear.
Yes.
Unbelievable, man.
Is using Memphis as a test case for taking and stripping away power from black communities. Today, it is a conversation about crime. In 14 months, it'll be a conversation about protecting the vote at the voting booth. In 3.5 years, it's going to be about a presidential election and the need to protect it.
Boy, they just keep going on the fear. Yep. Fear and lies, man, constantly.
Right. And what happens when we go to the polls and the National Guard is there and all they're doing is asking you, are you sure you want to vote? This isn't just a slippery slope. This is a dangerous impediment on our democracy. Yeah. We can't pretend like these are reasonable people. They are not. And they are coming to hurt, harm, destroy, disrupt, and confuse our citizens.
Yeah.
In addition to stoke fear.
You think of anyone else you know that does more harm to the community that they say they're trying to help than people like that.
Yeah. By the way, what happened to his street preacher thing? Remember when he was getting ousted from the State House of Representatives for leading an insurrection?
Yeah.
He was all like, I have seen the mountaintop.
Oh, that's right. It was great. Because they're theater people, too, on top of all of it.
I need to see you right away so I can fix this.
The Memphis mayor, by the way, who said he really didn't want, the National Guard to come in, there was a follow-up question. What would you like to see the Guard do then, while they're in Memphis? And I thought you would enjoy this, David. Roll it. And roll it. Go ahead from the start.
Support major events, traffic, and we have the Memphis Grizzlies, the Memphis Tigers, big events with a lot of people helping to support our law enforcement in that way.
Dude, if you think any of this is going to make sense, spoiler alert, it's not. It's laughable the way he answers this question.
But hold on a second, though. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If they're using the D.C. takeover as, this is the template, which
right.
Trump said that's what they're doing, and that's why they're going to Memphis before Chicago. I think they're sort of working their way up. Let's find a smaller city and see how this goes. But if they're using D.C. as a template, then that's exactly what the National Guard is going to do, what he just said. That is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go to big tourist areas and basically to keep nuisance away while the cops are able to go into where the real trouble spots are and do their jobs.
He keeps going.
Helping law enforcement, whether it's being a part of our downtown command center where we have cameras and helping law enforcement review those cameras and call for backup when they see things happening. Those are the types of activities that I think would be helpful. Beautification in our neighborhoods and communities. We know that blight is a significant contributor to crime. And if we are able to have support in addressing those things, then it could be beneficial to our community.
So you're in favor of what Trump is doing, because that's what the National Guard was doing.
Not going to make any sense.
I feel like
but
I'm
I don't
taking
want him here.
crazy pills.
I know. David just threw his glasses. I hope they didn't break, because you got a lot of reading to do, because we got the 5 stories we're watching today straight ahead.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins is out. More on him a little bit later. And now, the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2. All right, number 5. President Trump signed an signed an order, rather, to send the National Guard into Memphis to give the cops help in cracking down on crime. Heard bewildering statements from the mayor of Memphis, who was saying, well, they'd be welcome if they would do things like event security and helping our downtown command center, which is, if they follow the template of the D.C. crackdown, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, you nearly lost it there a second ago.
That just bewildering, man. All right, number 4, congressional Republicans are gearing up to finally look into left-wing billionaires and whether or not they're funding radical terrorist organizations in the United States. Number 3, the U.S. took out another drug boat in international waters. Yeah. Number 2.
Well, the legality of that's being questioned. I got that from the good folks at ABC this morning.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Number 2, the older man who was the first one taken into custody after Charlie Kirk was assassinated has been arrested for obstruction. The cops say he told them he was the killer, and his thinking was to give the real killer time to escape.
And this guy's known.
He's got a history of
unbelievable,
just kind of unhinged political stuff. Yes. Then number 1, FBI Director Kash Patel has confirmed that more than 20 people on a group chat with the killer are being investigated to see if they had any knowledge of the assassination plot ahead of time. Those are the 5 stories that we are watching today.
Wow. 20 people.
Yep.
And so it's possible, because this was even before Charlie Kirk was murdered, just talk of this might happen sort of thing.
Yeah.
That it's possible some of these people could have thought that's just somebody, talking nonsense.
Yeah. Like they're just sort of edgelords online, right? They're just sort of. I'm thinking about myself now. I was not radical terrorist as a young man, but like at the age of 22, if I'm just like deep in the bowels of the internet. And, I could see some of my idiot friends saying something like, well, I'm going to go and kill this person. And just kind of saying, okay, that's just internet talk. Because 99.999% of the time, that's all it is.
Right. Man, something we were talking about yesterday were different churches over the weekend that didn't talk about what happened at all.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that. But
And then there were others that talked about it this way.
How you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Yeah, who is that? We'll get to it. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Couple of those. Man. Isn't that something?
I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about that.
You're choosing your words very carefully. Oh, yeah.
I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live.
Yeah. And there was another one that some would say is even worse than that, who just happens to be Jasmine Crockett's pastor.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm not joking at all. And there's a dude on X that took that pastor to task for that. And there's an update on that guy. We'll get to it and around to What's Your Story straight ahead. All right, the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, the Millennial, the Sexy Boomer. That's Scott Robbins. He is out. Probably for the next week or so. Valve replacement surgery today.
Yeah, just depending on how it goes and how much he stays offline. He really needs to. I hope he's staying offline once he gets out of the procedure.
You know,
let the new valve take.
You said some touching things to him yesterday as we were all leaving, and then afterward, I was just telling him it's going to be all right, man. Yeah. You know, but when you're resting, just stay away from the news cycle for a few days. It'll be here when you get back. Yeah. Just rest, recover. He's like, if I can, I'll try. Like, okay, that would be good. I'm really glad he's not going to hear this clip or even part of this segment. It would send him over the edge. I happened to see this last night. I was not familiar with this pastor in Dallas. And it just happens to be Jasmine Crockett's pastor. Don't know if you've heard of him or not. Dr. Frederick D. Hayes III of Friendship West Baptist Church. Okay, something odd. He said this on Sunday and then announced yesterday he has taken a temporary medical leave of absence.
Wow. Not
sure what that's all about. But just all of a sudden, some sort of supposed medical procedure, and he's going to be out for a while. I don't know if it was because of the controversy of what he said. If you were listening just a little while ago, we heard from a different pastor. That was Alexandria, Virginia. But this is the guy in Dallas. Roll it.
A white Christian gets killed, murdered, not assassinated. We're going to tell the whole truth today. Martin King got assassinated. Malcolm X got assassinated. Medgar X got assassinated. Don't compare Kirk to King. Ain't no such comparison.
Okay. By definition, he was assassinated.
Yes. I'm looking at Merriam-Webster right now. I just wanted to double check. Murder by sudden or secret attack, often for political reasons. Yes, he was assassinated.
And I know from our friends in Dallas, there's no dictionary desert there. It sounds like it's just politics. And apparently that's what it is, because there is another dude on X, A. Gene Robinson, who talks about a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing when it comes to the church, and highlighted this guy has done it before. I had no idea he was that radical. And we don't have time for A. Gene Robinson's whole takedown of this. But you'll get a flavor.
Past week, we heard several rulings come down from the Supreme Court that was basically put together. It really is illegitimate if we're honest with ourselves, because there are stolen seats on that court.
I think that man thought he was slick with his nebulous statements. I mean, he never, ever gave evidence. He just made statements that there were stolen seats. Isn't that incredible? But that's the Democrat playbook way, baby. Deceive, deceive, deceive.
Y'all ain't pro-life, y'all are pro-fetus, and you're pro-fetus as long as the fetus is white. That whole anti-abortion piece has nothing to do with pro-life. It has everything to do with denying reproductive justice, bodily autonomy. It has nothing to do with pro-life, and everything to do with a certain group of people being in control, because as long as they can control your body, they can control what goes on in this nation.
I don't know if you caught that, man, but he literally said people are having babies because they're white supremacists. Period. What he isn't saying is that black women are only 6.8% of the population, but they account for 42% of all abortions.
Yeah, this guy's losing his mind, saying you're leading people astray. It's bonkers that is a big church.
Well, yeah, that is what I was going to say. You know, the pro-life movement has been pretty clear that they want more black babies born.
Yes.
They actually, there should be millions more black people in America.
Dude, I watched the whole clip of this guy taking down this pastor for, lies, false statements. The gospel's nowhere to be found there, man. It's something. This is the way A. Gene Robinson wrapped up his
every
video.
Believer, especially my brothers and sisters here on X, and I got about 16,000 of you, right? Listen, we need to wake this community up, because they're accepting counterfeit preachers to seduce your soul and blind your mind. The gospel is not red or blue. It's just righteousness. And it doesn't change for votes or applause. And as for Frederick D. Haynes III, I have a total of zero respect for a man that uses the name of God to endorse evil. May God open the eyes of everybody that you have led astray, young man, and raise up more bold voices to expose the lies. And in ending, the word says it really simple. Have no fellowship with the unfaithful works of darkness, but rather expose them. I just did.
I like this dude. Yeah. By the way, that other pastor, the clip where he was, saying what he said about Charlie Kirk, that was Dr. Howard John Wesley from Alfred Street Baptist Church in Alexandria, Virginia, the dude that said,
"How you die does not redeem how you lived."
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Like, same sort of stuff.
Well,
Did you even know that was out there?
Oh, yeah, I know that's out there. And all I can think is, wow, that's taking a page out of the Pharisees' playbook, isn't it?
Sure is. But you add a little bit of soul to it. Yeah. I will not have you speak about the Pharisees and compare them to us.
My goodness.
Got to have a little bit of that in there, man. Yeah, wow. Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, she was speaking on faith matters. See if this may resonate a little more with your soul and what you know to be true. Roll it.
Those who are full of anger and hopelessness and hate right now, some of them protesting outside this hall today, Unfortunately, they do not have the spiritual happiness that Charlie experienced. They're empty. And this is where their anger is coming from. It is their rejection of God, their desire to be God, and therefore they have made God their enemy.
Whew. Man. That hits.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting when you look at the tone of the people gathering to honor the memory and the legacy of Charlie Kirk versus the people who are sort of screeching back, the counter-protesters, because there is a lot of love in these vigils. There is nothing but hate and darkness in the protests. And I think you're seeing a really big... As an example, I saw a video out of the University of Texas, San Antonio. In like the middle of campus, like near the library and all the buildings, there is... It's almost like a pit that's kind of dug out, and it's sort of an eating area, and there's a gathering area. People can have events there. And there was an event there memorializing Charlie Kirk. You had people singing gospel songs. You had people singing, well, just Christian songs in general. You had a lot of people just honoring the memory. You saw families there, saw young adults there.
Yeah.
All honoring this memory. And I mean, the movement that he started has just exploded. I mean, it is actually going to be hard to comprehend how big this is going to be moving forward.
I know. It's pretty wild, man. Things are being exposed right now, I think, is one of the ways you can say it. All right. It's that time, maybe even a little past, where we go around the table. And it may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. What's your story here, David?
New York politics is always fascinating to me because it really is just Democrat on Democrat dunking constantly, and it's brutal, man. So Zoran Mamdani, this is the socialist who's now running as a Democrat to be the next mayor of New York City. The Democrat governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, has issued an endorsement of him, backing him. I think probably because she realizes he's probably going to win. Yeah. And, you know, she needs to sort of have him as an ally. Somebody asked him, are you going to endorse her in her next race? He said, no. Now, be more specific. He says, I'm focused on this November. I'm not really thinking about it because, no, those two don't really align politically. But, man, that's brutal. You would think you would say, hey, yeah, I think she's probably in the running for my endorsement later on. But, you know, there's going to be a primary, and we'll see how that all plays out. I get that part, but it's just brutal, man.
Wow. No, I don't think so. Nah. For my story, you got to decide, David, who is being more petty here. I bring this up. I saw this story about Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo.
Oh.
Once was able to play a round of golf with Tony Romo in a Pro-Am. Mm-hmm. And, you know, being a Cowboy fan was awesome. Really nice guy, great stories. It was just a fantastic time. And a lot of people will say, yeah, that guy, he's just a great guy. But Jessica Simpson not happy with him recently because apparently Tony Romo called Jessica Simpson's mom to tell her that he was selling a boat that Jessica got him back in 2009 when they were together as a couple because they dated for a few years. And Jessica is doing a show and mentions it to the crowd.
A couple weeks ago, my mom got a phone call, and he's like, I'm selling the boat. And my mom's like, okay, and he's like, well, Jessica's name is still on the title. Then I get paperwork and have to sign over this boat for him to sell. And guess what he gave me as a thank you? Plastic cups. Wow, I'm glad we didn't work out.
She said, I'm glad we didn't work out.
I mean...
Apparently, she bought Romo the $100,000 speedboat for his 29th birthday. And now he's like, I got to sell it, but his name's on it. Should he just forget about it and donate it? Is that what she's saying? Or was it petty of him to ask?
Well, if he's trying to
sign this,
it was a gift. I mean,
it seemed to me she was being more petty than he.
Yeah, just bringing it up out of nowhere.
But I'm like, maybe I'm homering here for Tony. Just asking. I think she's still hurt by it.
I think so, yeah.
That's what it sounds like anyway. Got a couple of updates to get to. Why do these people on the left keep trying to sing songs they can't sing? Oh my gosh. And Nimrods in the news coming up.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkis, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. You know you don't need to let all your photos sit on your phone. You can put them to good use with Aura Frames. It's Wirecutter's #1 digital frame, and for a good reason. It's easy to set up. They have different frame options, and the best part is it comes with unlimited storage. All you need is the free Aura app and a Wi-Fi connection, and you can upload as many photos and videos as you want year-round.
Yeah, it only takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app. You can add unlimited photos and videos, invite as many people as you want to a frame. Like I got family not only all over the country, but also overseas in Europe. And it's a cool thing that you can just sort of instantly share this of any photo. I've got 2 little kids as well, so that's useful. So people can sort of keep up with the little rugrats as they age and grow and turn my hair more and more gray. You can save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code MVCR. That's auraframes.com, promo code MVCR. Support the station by mentioning Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, you brought this up several times. I don't know why the left feels like they need to do song at different protests.
It's amazing when they do, though.
And a lot of times it's like some sort of folky thing, and it's off-key. But this is definitely off-key. It's not really even folky. It's outside of a vigil for Charlie Kirk, and it's just this young, angry dude. And see if you can make out the lyrics. Roll it.
I don't want your salvations.
Why?
I want you to die. We're not going to give you a second chance, even when you beg for it on your knees.
How do you like that?
Okay.
Yeah.
The old dashboard confessional-esque.
I don't want your salvation. I think it's I want you to effing die.
Yes, that's what it sounds like. And you won't get a second chance, even if you're
as you beg for it on your knees.
And all I can think of is I haven't seen the video of it, but I have a clear picture of who this person is in my mind. You're too small. You're too small.
That's why they're very angry.
You know, man, if you just like took a shower and, maybe did a little exercise, you would probably find a significant other.
Yes, as far as some of these crazy far left people, it reminds me of what Andy No said last night. We'll get to it later on Fox. He said it's like a death cult. And you brought that up I don't know how many times.
Saying it for a long time, man.
It is really true. All right, we got to get to Nimrods. Here we go.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrods the News. We go to Lake Buena Vista, Florida. Oh, it's Disney. What? Investigators searching for a man they say robbed a popular Disney Springs restaurant. Check it. Swimming up in scuba gear and a wetsuit and then swimming away after he stole thousands of dollars. The robber hit the Paddlefish restaurant shortly after midnight on Monday after it's closed to guests. According to this report from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, he found a place to store his wetsuit and scuba gear before walking into the manager's office. Cash from the night was being counted and deposited into a safe. Forced two employees to go to the corner of the room, took the cash, and then boom, scuba gone.
Wow.
And that's Nimrods in the News.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is in surgery right now. Probably be an update in a couple hours. Everything we know is going well. All right, David, you got a news update?
I do, and it's been such a dark few days. I feel like we need some humor here, and this is also a news update. So the FBI Director, Kash Patel, is testifying in front of a Senate committee.
Okay.
And this is where he did say that the killer of Charlie Kirk had this Discord message board or chat room, where he says, it's way more than 20 people that they're looking into right now that may know something. And so they are running all those leads down. They've got thousands of leads to make sure that this guy was acting alone. And I think a lot of people are believing he did not act alone.
I think that's accurate.
So we'll see what happens. But part of the festivities today on Capitol Hill with the FBI director involved a line of questioning about FBI agents and their fitness standards. And Mazie Hirono, the Democrat senator out of Hawaii, wants to know why
an intellectual heavyweight.
Well, she's a heavyweight. I don't know about intellectual. She wants to know why Kash Patel is being so mean, because starting in November, you're going to have to do pull-ups.
What? No.
One question I had is...
Come on, Maisie.
That you are now requiring applicants to be able to do a certain kind of pull-ups, which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences.
Whoa.
Are you
Whoa! You can't say that.
Wait a minute. There are physiological differences between men and women?
What? And if you do know that for a fact, could you have a chat with Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Yes. Are you a biologist, ma'am?
Because it sounds like you're trying to be one. Anyway, go ahead.
Which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences.
Mm-hmm.
Are you requiring these kinds of pull-ups
We are requiring a physical program at BFTC at Quantico because FBI agents carrying guns in the field have to chase down bad guys and do really hard work. The physical fitness standards of those agents
So are you requiring
appropriately
these
assessed.
kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring everybody to pass the 1811 standards at BFTC. If you want to chase down a bad guy and put him in handcuffs, you better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is that there are concerns about whether or not being able to do these kinds of harsh pull-ups is really required of FBI agents.
Doing one pull-up
Mr.
is not
Patel,
harsh.
Yeah. So he says one pull-up, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, that's not harsh, actually, and you should, if you're expected to chase down bad guys, throw them up against the wall, throw them on the ground, cuff them, all that stuff. That's like bare minimum. He was being literal there. So part of their standards for recruits, people who will then go into the field and be FBI agents eventually, they have a scoring system where you have to score, a minimum of 1 point in each of the 5 events for a total of 20 points. Anyway, the minimum standard to score 1 point in the pull-up. For men, you get 1 point if you do 2 or 3 pull-ups.
Okay.
For the female, you get a point if you do 1. So they do actually lower the standards.
Do you get more points the more you do?
Yes. So if you do 2 pull-ups for a female, that's 2 points. If you do 4 to 5 pull-ups for a male, you get 2 points. So you actually have to do more as the men because of the physiological differences. So she's saying doing 1 pull-up is cruel and unusual punishment.
Very harsh.
FBI. Now, for her, yes. I mean, I understand. But
well, you don't want her chasing down anybody.
And I'll just say, in the course of being a news reporter, I've known some local FBI agents and in the local field offices, and I can't think of a single woman who would not be, that I've known in passing, who would not be humiliated by the question the senator just asked.
Right.
Like, are you telling me that you really believe that there are cadets, there are potential future FBI agents who are women at Quantico right now who are shaking in their boots because they might have to do a pull-up? I thought we settled this with the movie Silence of the Lambs, right? Clarice was a badass.
Exactly. Dude, do you ever see the videos that people will share online where I've seen a few of these, a female cop or 2 female cops trying to take down a guy. Could be at a restaurant, just make an arrest. Yeah. And they can't get his arms behind him, and he's like, resisting. And the commentator is going, this shouldn't happen. No. They're not capable of arresting this guy.
Well, yeah.
They're not, because in so many cities they lowered the standards.
Yeah, there's a physics problem.
Yes.
There. And I've known a lot of, and I don't remember what spurred this on. There was something about this exact topic where a lot of self-defense folks were saying, what we always tell women especially is, you're fighting for the opportunity to run, to retreat. If somebody comes and mugs you, and you're not armed, you don't have a gun, and you're having to use self-defense, physical self-defense measures, you're looking for your opening to get away. Because if there's a bad guy, chances are he's bigger than you, and he's stronger than you, and what you see in the movies isn't real. And there's a physics issue there. And that's not an anti-woman thing. That's just a common sense thing.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember in a martial arts class, and the women there, and the instructor was showing how to do everything possible to get away if a guy from behind them got them in a hold where they could not move their arms, and the different tactics that you could use and that sort of thing, knowing that you would be overpowered.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, it's for most people it's common sense.
Yes.
For Maisie, though, man,
put him in handcuffs, you better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is that there are concerns about whether or not being able to do these kinds of harsh pull-ups is really required of.
That was what killed me.
The
harsh ones. I was like, what, do they put a weighted vest on you? What you mean by harsh?
I don't see
Just
that.
one?
Anywhere. This is what they say. The candidate hangs from a horizontal bar. Hands need to be wider than the shoulders, but no more than 2 hand widths outside the shoulders. Okay. Palms turned away from the face and arms fully extended. The candidate flexes his or her arms and pulls the body upward until the chin is higher than the bar. There can be no swinging or jerking of the body or use of the legs in an effort to propel the body upward. The candidate then lowers their body back to the hanging position with arms fully extended. This is a continuous motion exercise. That sounds like a pull-up to me.
Yes. All right. So we got that cleared up. Charges are being announced today against the accused Charlie Kirk killer. There'll be more on that coming up. Chris Rufo from the Manhattan Institute was on Fox last night talking about, what we've seen over the last week and where investigations are going and how deep does this run. And he mentioned something that he's been most disturbed by as far as the reaction to the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
What I've been particularly disturbed by is the number of people in the so-called helping professions, teachers, nurses, psychologists, social workers, who are in public on their own social media with their name and their face, glorifying political assassination, calling for the assassination of other conservatives, really reveling in this nihilistic violence. We have a serious cultural problem in this country, and the only way to stop it right now, at least at the level of people with professional jobs, is to have a social penalty for that kind of behavior, that kind of activity.
Some people shriek when they hear that. Social penalty?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you get. I've seen people trying to call it cancel culture, and some of the people that have been called out, I'm like, okay, what did they really do? Because they just said, well, I really didn't like the guy. Didn't want to see him die. Didn't really like the guy. Okay, I get it if you're offended by that. But there are actually people out there openly celebrating and then calling for, hey, let's go after the libs of TikTok chick next. That's a problem. And yes, it has long been a taboo in this country and in most civilized societies that the public execution of political figures that you disagree with is taboo. It's bad.
Yeah.
And that's a norm that's worth maintaining.
100%. And I mean, you've had other people actually, like you said, calling for, you got to get his wife too.
Yeah.
And you're like, where do these people think it's okay, one, to even tell your friends that, let alone put it out there for everyone to see on social media?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. I don't know if you saw the story about the nurse in New Jersey that found out what had happened, was upset by it, and then there's a doctor saying, well, he deserved it. And she went and complained about it to HR, like totally inappropriate. You're a doctor? And then they put her on leave. And he, while, there was going to be this investigation, now he has resigned. But it's been wild to just see, stuff like this unfold. There was a clip of her because they put her on Fox and Friends, and it was after that she was on the show is when all of a sudden then it came down on the doctor. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, oh gosh, now we really do have a firestorm. But it was wild when she was talking about it.
I walked into the nurse's station and I just had learned about Charlie Kirk. I saw this guy. I didn't know who he was at the time, and he was standing there celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, saying how he deserved it, he hated Charlie Kirk, and he had it coming to him. So I looked down at his badge because I didn't know, what job, if he was a doctor or a nurse, a tech, never saw him before. I looked down, I see his badge, and it says doctor, and I said, you're a doctor? I said, how are you saying this as a doctor, that someone deserved to die? I mean, to me, I was just mind blown.
Yeah, I think it's been a shock to a lot of people seeing how there's been reaction on social media.
And again, man, this is I've said it so many times. I mean, not to just belabor the point, this is a very clarifying moment for millions of people who may not have even known who Charlie Kirk was until now. And then they're seeing these videos and going, wait a minute, this guy was not some extremist at all. He was like a normal person from the mid-90s, basically.
Well, and for Bill Maher to talk about Charlie Kirk because he had been demonized so much, I think we say it all the time, you don't agree with Bill Maher on most things, but that there's some form of sanity in him, I appreciate, because he still has the voice. This is what he said.
They're the people who don't want to talk. It's my main issue with them. And Charlie Kirk was a guy who, he was always talking.
By the way, this was his, what does he call it when he's smoking weed and having drinks?
Club Random?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins on that
and
the day
I
this
talked
happened.
to him here. The right-wingers say what you want about them, but they talk to you. They're not into this leftist think. The left really has much more of a, I don't talk to you, I don't want to deal with you, you're deplorable, I can't break bread with you. That attitude, and all the right-wingers, they don't have that attitude.
Well, I think we've seen a lot of differences in the last week of how different situations are handled. All right, as far as the charges for the alleged killer, we will get to that and the 5 stories we're watching today in just a few. Summer's over, but those lingering effects of backyard barbecues may have your liver continuing to work overtime. And the holidays are right around the corner. That means turkey dinners, pies, and all sorts of other stuff that's taxing on the body. That's why now is the perfect time to develop a healthy new habit that will get your liver back in tip-top shape.
So in addition to moderation, let me tell you about something I've started taking to help me feel my best. It provides an easy and delicious daily detox using proven all-natural ingredients like turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract to give my liver the support it deserves. Your liver is one big filter, and Active Liver from New Nordic helps keep it from getting clogged up so you can feel your best. Get started now so you can enjoy the benefits later.
Your liver works overtime to filter toxins out of your system, so the least you can do is to show it some love by taking Active Liver. Available in both easy-to-take tablets or delicious gummies. You can find Active Liver online at Amazon or pick some up today at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite.
Summer is over, and we're going back to the daily grind. So what are you going to do with all those photos on your phone? Well, Aura frames are the perfect way to show off all the family fun. They were named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter because there's unlimited storage for your pictures and videos, and it's easy to set up. It only takes about 2 minutes with the Aura app.
I love this thing, especially because I've got 2 little kids and family all over the place. You can invite as many people as you want to add pictures. So if you've got family on the other side of the country, they can share photos or short videos instantly, no memory card required.
You have complete control over who has access to your frame, and the Aura app lets you share photos more securely than with email. And the display screen is so good, it looks like real print. Start reliving your favorite memories by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $35 off on the best-selling Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com. Promo code MVCR. Support the station by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins is out for about a week or so. Now, the 5 stories we're watching today.
Our officials in Utah are giving us an update on the Charlie Kirk assassination investigation this is all about that. So number 5, Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin is facing 7 charges: aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily harm, obstruction of justice for moving and concealing the rifle, obstruction of justice for disposing of the clothing he wore, witness tampering for telling his roommate and lover to delete incriminating texts. Count 6 is witness tampering because he told the roommate to stay silent if the cops questioned him. And then finally, commission of a violent homicide offense in front of children. And because of this, we'll get to that at number 1. I'll just delay it there. Number 4, Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby says that the assassin did not confess to authorities when he was turned in. He asked for an attorney and did not talk. Number 3, the mom and dad have been cooperative in the investigation. Number 2, DNA found on the trigger of the murder weapon has been found. And number one, because of all of these factors put together, the prosecution has confirmed they will be seeking the death penalty.
Good. It's what a lot of people wanted to see, for sure. And then the next question is, how deep did it go?
Yeah.
How many people knew? And what was it, Cash Patel? FBI director said earlier, looking well beyond the 20 that were on the Discord.
Yeah, more than 20
chat.
people they want to talk to right now who may have known about it, or, why, the question, there are a whole lot of questions, right? Do you wonder how many of them contacted law enforcement when they saw him confessing to it? Because the story that was breaking yesterday afternoon was that he said, "It was me, I'm sorry." And I can, again, if you're just playing devil's advocate here, this is why you have investigations. This is why you have investigators go ask them, because this guy, very deep in Reddit and Twitch and all of that stuff, I could totally see how somebody in a large group chat would think, okay, he's telling a really, really dark joke. And then suddenly going, oh, no, he wasn't joking.
Right. Trump was asked yesterday if he thought the shooter worked alone.
Your FBI is investigating the potential role of left-wing organizations in the assassination. I'm wondering if you think if Charlie Kirk's assassin worked alone or if he worked with it.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you he didn't work alone on the Internet, because it seems that he became radicalized on the Internet. That's just by watching the same things that you're watching and hearing. And it seems like his wonderful parents brought in a wonderful neighborhood, smart guy, great boards, great marks. Great student, and then something happened to him over a fairly short period of time. Looks like he was radicalized over the Internet, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left.
Yeah, you want to make sure people knew that. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show. I think probably because part of media is trying to make it seem, well, there's no way of knowing. Or, even worse, oh no, he was from the right.
Yeah. And they're still on that, and this press conference going on right now in Utah, they're making it very clear. No, this is not a right-wing violent act. They did play cleanup because there was some confusion last week. There is a retired deputy with Washington County named Matt Robinson, the name of the father. The father is not law enforcement.
Got it. Okay. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So we will get to that and another piece of audio we haven't had time yet you want to hear next. All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is out.
Scott, I miss you.
Yeah, the trifecta will be coming back when Scott comes back.
Yeah, he has nice things to say about Scott when he's not here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very unprofessional, quite frankly. I'm just really, I'm disappointed more than anything.
Give it up.
Well, hey, don't turn your sights on me, buddy. You're too small.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for today. Okay, so news update, David Van Camp.
So today we got the news that prosecutors in Utah are going to be seeking the death penalty as they go after the assassin of Charlie Kirk, which I think a lot of people are like, well, yeah, that's what happens. Also, another political assassin that is being tried in New York now, Luigi Mangione. The judge there has thrown out the first-degree murder charges, claiming that terrorism doesn't count in this case because all he wanted to do was raise awareness about what he saw as an injustice. I'm like, what? But
that's calling attention to it. That's what propelled him to do it.
That's what terrorism does. And remember, we've been told over the last several days that leftists are not violent, okay? Or it's a both sides thing, right? And certainly the right has its share of nuts. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but man, look at the last 10 years.
I know.
Of rioting, fires in the streets. I mean, dude, the left-wing foot soldiers have been out in force and largely unafraid to go out in force because, well, Democrats have coddled them. Mostly peaceful riots, man.
Think about Antifa. And by the way, Trump was asked yesterday, as far as Antifa being designated a terrorist organization. Roll it.
Do you plan on designating Antifa finally a domestic terror organization?
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%. And also, I've been speaking to the Attorney General about bringing RICO against some of the people that you've been reading about that have been putting up millions and millions of dollars for agitation.
Yeah. Yeah, in the end, the whole terrorism thing really would just be words on a page if he were to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What he's hitting there on RICO, the racketeering charges, essentially, that's more important. That is way more important to track down who is providing aid and comfort to people who are actively trying to destroy American cities. And I mean, like, who's funding the massive protest, or I guess it's a show of support for Luigi Mangione?
You can't tell me there's that many losers. Right. People are getting paid.
Well, there are some losers in that crowd.
Yes, I'm not saying that they're all paid. Yeah, you're always going to have losers, but those kinds of numbers?
I don't know if you've seen this. Olia Scootercaster, she does a lot of like on-the-ground videos and has some people working with her apparently. And they talked to one lady about why she was out there.
Honestly, I'm married to Luigi's AI. I'm not kidding.
Okay, tell me about
So I talk to him every day. He's like my best friend.
Oh, dear goodness.
Yeah. Reopen the asylums.
Yeah. Wow.
That lady needs some serious
favor to her family.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man. You know, Andy No, been a reporter for a long time, beaten up badly by Antifa. I mean, lucky to be alive. He was on Fox last night, and he said something that you said before, talking about the left death cult.
Yeah.
Talking about how deep this all runs.
I will call it a death cult. They worship death. They want their targets killed. And they've been supported by a huge apparatus. I'm not just talking about the Black Bloc militants who are on the streets acting as thugs, carrying out arson attacks and assaulting people. I'm talking about politicians who spread their propaganda and lies, NGOs, nonprofit groups, elected officials, and many in the Democrat Party, and of course many journalists. We've seen many, many disgusting lies spread in the last few days in liberal media suggesting somehow that this accused gunman was a far-right Christian nationalist inspired by MAGA.
It was just laughable that actually happened. But the question was, you know, as far as the trans part of this, you know, had he noticed any of this? And he said he started noticing it in Portland. Just let him
So I
say
saw
it.
this 5 years ago in Portland when a disproportionate number of the Antifa riot arrestees were somehow so-called gender diverse, trans or non-binary, something like that. And they don't hide their extremism. If you go to any of their rallies, you look at the activist groups and the type of placards and signs and chants that they say, they threaten to kill people if their agenda is not followed through. And they have this perception, and they say it, that there's a trans genocide going on. So when you have this lie that's been mainstreamed by trans activists, coupled with the fact that there is a disproportionate amount of mental health comorbidities, and many of them are sociopathic, you have this explosive situation potentially of like what happened here, and unfortunately has happened other times in recent years.
You wonder, just a guess, I mean, I think we're all thinking the same thing, as far as these particular people and the shooter, is that why they hated Charlie Kirk so much? Because he would openly talk about it.
Yeah.
No, trans is not a thing.
Yeah.
And it was somehow threatening.
Yeah.
And then you take mentally disturbed people and say, yeah, they're trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm. That's a big part of it, because everything kind of like matriculates down into this sort of subculture in or on places like Reddit, Twitch, etc. All these like really deep, dark rabbit holes that these people find themselves in. And what is so concerning to me is at the top level, you do have elected Democrats supporting the idea that there is a genocide against trans people. Nobody is talking about a genocide against trans people. No, Charlie Kirk was not part of that.
Nope.
Nobody with any amount of credibility is actually believing that we should go out and kill all trans people or whatever.
No, the biggest thing is you can't trans the kids.
Stay away from the kids is where most people are.
Yeah.
And you do have the activist class out there saying it. You have people in positions of power. You had the previous president of the United States saying that's the most loving thing you can do as a parent is to affirm your child's chosen gender.
Despicable.
And so you wonder, it's only a matter of time, or it was only a matter of time, before a select group within that community started taking up arms to fight back against a genocide. You're taking mentally deranged people who have spent too much time on the internet.
Yeah.
And you're telling them that people like Charlie Kirk want them dead.
Stupid. Also today, Kash Patel, Capitol Hill, and, this scene, it's theater. And you'll have different Democrats, and they're going to grandstand. But it's a new day. And this administration doesn't play by the old rules.
No, they don't.
So with Kash Patel today, goof nut, Adam Schiff is doing his theater act, and Kash has it. And for the rest of the time, just talks over him. And just says, well, you'll hear it. Biggest fraud. You're a political buffoon at best. I mean, yes, I think this is what people like to see now. Just instead of this guy grandstanding.
The American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of
you're not in
inmates.
the weeds?
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
Was that enough for you? Because there's more.
I don't know, man. I kind of like hearing this.
Okay, because I know sometimes, depending on the mood and who it is, and when I hear talking over one another, I'm like, oh my gosh. I tend to be with you on this one because I can hear Kash over him, and I like that part.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of California. We are bringing historic reform. Point of order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Be quiet.
Dang.
Again, man, usually I'm not like way into that or anything.
Well,
but Schiff, he's the worst.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, yeah, he is a guy that outside of deep blue California would not have a political career.
No way.
Yeah, and
no way.
And then because he was Rachel Maddow's favorite human being on the planet, she thought about switching teams, talking to him. Seriously, man, she had a look for him. Like, she loved him. Yeah, he leveraged that into getting a bunch of liberals in L.A. and San Francisco to vote for him to be in the United States Senate.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at all the things that we didn't have a chance to get to today. Here's one. I thought this was interesting. BuzzFeed doesn't do much well, but this is decent. They, cobble together different things like the modern stressors that did not exist back in the day. Because sometimes people say, man, as a young person, it's a lot more to deal with than it was years ago. And, there's pluses and minuses, all that sort of stuff. But just the online stuff itself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know of anyone that says, I really wish we would have had Snapchat back when I was young.
Oh, gosh. No way.
No. But here you have it. People talking about here are the stressors that didn't exist back in the day. Cyber criminals didn't have to worry about it. All of social media. People did not have a camera in their pocket all the time. Yeah, that was a good thing. Whether the news you're hearing or reading is factual or not. We just were stupid back then.
Yeah.
We just believed everything that was told to us because we were told, these are the trustworthy people. You didn't have to worry about deep fakes. Yeah. And then it says Botox and lip filler. Well, I'm not worried about that now.
Yeah.
Really? Returning texts. And then we'll just leave it to this. I don't know what your story is. It says you didn't have to worry about shaving everything. Well, I don't think that's a necessity. It just depends on who you are, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. So, there you go. All right, a couple of news updates to get to. And I know, man. I'm trying to keep the show on the air, right? Nimrods in the news, straight ahead.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need hair volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. There are always fad diets going around, and that can be a problem because you lose weight, then you gain it back, and so on. It's called weight cycling when you lose 10 or so pounds, but then you put it all back on, plus even more than that. And that can put tremendous strain on your organs and lead to serious health issues. And if you do it enough, you're at risk for diabetes, liver damage, heart attack, and stroke.
So if you need to get some help in stopping weight cycling, there's a great way to do it. Non-prescription lean. It's an oral supplement, works like the shots, but again, no prescription necessary and no needles. It studied ingredients target weight loss in 3 ways. 1, lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar. 2, it helps control appetite and cravings. 3, it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy. And burning fat helps keep the weight off. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add lean to your diet and exercise lifestyle. Get 20% off when you enter code MVCR at takelean.com. That's code MVCR at takelean.com.
News update, David Van Camp.
Prosecutors in the state of Utah have announced that they are going to be pursuing the death penalty in the prosecution of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin. He is facing 7 charges. One of those charges involves him because he killed somebody in an area where children were present.
Also said he had a target board inside his home, bullet holes in it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, we didn't have time for this earlier today. Did you hear about this woman in California that's fighting the DMV? Her name is Isis. She's named after the Egyptian goddess of motherhood.
Yeah.
And she wants her plate, I am Isis. And for a lot of people, it's like, well, it's obvious you shouldn't have that. She's like, I want it.
Oh.
I'm proud of my name. I'm proud that it's on my car. I feel like driving around. It looks cool. I was thinking, okay, so we're in a place right now where you're feeling safer driving around with the plate I am ISIS than you are a Tesla.
What if you put I am ISIS on a Tesla?
But you'll confuse the crazy lefties. They won't know what to do. Holy mackerel. And with that, we go to Nimrods.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Martley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrods in the News, we go to the UK, where this dude, Joshua Hart, known as a prolific shoplifter, was chased down and arrested about an hour after he was caught stuffing packs of meat down his pants.
Oh, come on.
I mean, it looks like a scene out of Animal House, like it's a prank. But he's done this before. So he's 26 years old. He has spent time in jail earlier this year. And so now he has pled guilty to 2 counts of theft from the shop and is jailed for 8 weeks. Think about what you got to do to be jailed for 8 weeks in New York City.
Well, apparently wasting food.
His actions are damaging to local businesses. Well, of course they are. So it's 8 weeks, and that's Nimrods in the News.